So the grow tent's in place now. All we need to do now is get the seeds and seedlings ready to go inside. I've got some together which we'll go through shortly. I do have the maples that were growing this year. They've got some lovely colours to them where the autumn or fall colours have come in. But what I'm going to do is put them into the tent as well, because they do have these buds up at the top which would probably wait until next spring to continue growing, but because they're so small and they were doing so well, I'm going to give them a shot at trying to put them into the grow tent and just see if we can stimulate that bit of extra growth, plenty of light, nice and warm. They should trigger that as almost like a spring happening again, although quite quickly for them, but I just want to try and encourage them to keep growing. So they're going to go onto a tray and go into the tent on one of the shelves. What we're also going to do is quickly plant on the mimosifolias that we have here, the blue jacaranda that I planted earlier this year. 3 of them have come up. One of them came up and it's kind of gone a bit fungusy. It looks like it had some sort of disease, so that's not looking too good. And there is also a tiny little one coming through there, so I will grab that as well. So what we'll do now is we'll quickly plant them into some nice little pots. We'll try and sort of slip pot them, but you know, without trying to agitate the roots too much. And I'm just going to simply use some more of this bonsai indoor soil to pot them in with. So I'll just get some tools together here and we'll just ease these out. I don't know how much root there is, but we'll try and capture it, however much there is. There you go, we've got a nice bit of root going on there. So we'll just, what we'll do is we'll get them into each one and just get them in there nice and happy. Now this should be pretty good soil for these, especially just transferring into the soil that it was in was a lot more it was some sort of peat and moss and all sorts of fibrous stuff going on in there, but it was doing a good job, and it certainly did a good job with these blue jacarandas coming up nicely. It does seem a little bit damp, this soil, so it must have seen a little bit of water from somewhere. But we'll just get these out as gently as we can, keep as much root as possible. This one seems to have, wow, wow, yeah, that one's got some lovely root to it. All I'm going to do is let that sit in there, and I'll just get some soil around it. We shouldn't need to water this straight away because this soil, like I say, has got a bit of moisture in it where it's been outside, so you should get away with getting it into the tent upstairs in the garage and allow it to sit. And allow its roots to find their own way again. So we'll go for the main one that's left again. See how much root is with this. Just loosen up the soil around it. See if we can pick it up, see if it comes. Yep, oh, he got some lovely roots in with that as well. So we'll just bob that in to the soil and then build up around it. If you want to see some bigger blue jacarandas, there's a guy on YouTube, Jarhead Bonsai, Jared Paul. He's got some lovely lovely more fuller than these. He was trimming some the other day and it reminded me of the fact that I had these to take out, and I can only hope that mine become as nice and big and well established as Jared's. I'll put a link to Jared's YouTube channel below. Worth having a look. He's got some really good trees there. So just one more to do. I'll just cut a piece of screen for the bottom of this one. The others did have screening already, some of the pre-made ones that I had a while ago. Put a little bit of soil in the bottom there. Maybe a bit more because this is only one that's looks to have just started growing. We'll transfer it across as it is. No. Oh. No, it looks like it started and then died away. There's no root there for it at all, which it doesn't matter a great deal. I was only expecting those three anyway, and I just happened to notice this looked like it was rooting into the bottom. What I will do is I will put it in to the soil just as I found it there, just in case it decides to grow. We'll not put too much more soil there, we'll just see what happens with that one. So that's all of everything out of there. Any other seeds that were in there probably weren't viable or didn't get a chance to grow, but three's more than enough for us. I'll leave the identity stick with that and we'll push them away. The other thing I was going to do was I was trying to propagate some cuttings. It doesn't look like they've done too well, but we'll have a look, see if there's any roots on them, and if there is, we'll root them, pot them on also. But I think we're going to find these are just cuttings that have died away. Yeah, no roots. They did have rooting powder on, rooting hormone, but they just didn't like the environment that they were in by the look of it. And yeah, no roots on any of those. I've never really had any success with these. This is like a Thuya occidentalis type. I've never had any success with those, but it doesn't matter. It was just an opportunity to see if we could root some, and in this instance we haven't. There's also another type of pine here that we tried, and it looks as if there's no roots on that either. They have been in for a good few months, so they haven't. No. No. No, I didn't really expect anything from it. It was more of a let's see what we can get scenario. If we could, it would have been really, really cool, but I don't think anything's coming out of any of these. Just pull the rest out. Nothing. Nope. Nothing there. Now these, we might have some rooting on a couple of these. These were a Viburnum tinus, some sort of rose. This one did flower out of the top, so I'm hoping that that one's rooted. I've got the bigger plant in the garden that I'm hoping to do something with going forward. So we'll just see whether there's any roots on any of these. Nothing on that one. I'm kind of relieved actually that there's no roots on these, because we've got so much going on at the moment. This would have just been too much to contend with. Nothing on that one. A stick. So this is the only one that I got any hope for, because it did flower. But did it root? No. No, no roots. That saves a lot of work. But we did get the weeds rooted. Right, we'll tidy that away and we'll be back shortly. So these are the seedlings that are going to go upstairs and into the grow tent. Also, there's these Ficus Figs seedlings that have come up. They came up very well. They're all going to go upstairs. Nigel's deciding he's going to say hello. Hey Nige. Say hello to everyone. He loves it. Good boy, Nige. So also we have these that have come up absolutely lovely. These are the Catalpa Indian beans, and we just want these to carry on. I don't want them to see a winter just yet. It feels like it's a little bit too quick. Come on then. Come on, up. So Nigel likes to get on the shoulders and go for a walk around. So keep saying hello, Nigel. One thing just to show you guys, the Bees Gifts Bonsai propagator has just in there a Pinus halepensis poking its head out. So we've got that happening. There's nothing happening in the others. But if we go upstairs, we can, so will you. I can show you a couple of others that are coming up. So we're just upstairs, Nigel's still with us, and here are some of the seedlings, the seeds from the kits that are hopefully going to come up. But what I wanted to show you mainly was, if we pick up the dwarf mountain pine that we put in on the 8th of the 10th, you can see in there's 4 seedlings coming through, so we've got those coming. And if we just get the other bag, same dwarf mountain from the Garden Colosseum, if you just look in there, there's a seedling coming through. So things are happening. Things are happening. Then if we also take the lid off this one, these are some of the seeds that I already had in the fridge, and you can see there's one little shoot coming through, and that is a Japanese maple. So yeah, things are happening. Let's go back downstairs. So we've got all the seedlings here now, so let's get them transferred up and into the grow tent in the garage. So there you go, that's the seedlings tucked away into their new little tent. We will be adding to that over the next coming weeks and months and years. We may even add a secondary tent when that becomes filled up. We freed up 2 propagators so we can get some more seeds put in. We've seen some of the seeds coming up on the kits, so that we know that some of these kits do work, so that's good. The main theme seems to be the pines come up without going through any sort of stratification process. That's something I experienced on my very first kit, and it was really only the pines, the mountain pines that came up. But if we get mountain pines, you know, and we grow them and we get good things out of them, I'm sure we'll be very happy with that. But hopefully we'll get some other things. So for now, I've been Scott Winard, and this is Let's Do Bonsai, and we'll see you soon.